welcome to the Powerhouses of the global corporate stage. I am your host, Lovely Marshall, accelerator for Powerhouses. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. And you all know, what is it? Say it with me. A powerhouse is somebody who is dynamic, effective, and unstoppable in achieving success. And today we have somebody who is unstoppable in achieving success. You heard it here first. You did not look at this right. This truly was, how did I get a job before I graduate? You know what I do. I search for all of the most asked questions because these are corporate inspiration. These are the people who got the jobs. These are the people who got fired from the jobs and then they built their own dynasty. It's all about those of us who are from the janitors, the admin's assistants, the salesperson. These are all of the people. And yes, that includes those of you all who may not even started in corporate America. So I am so excited and honored to have a University of Houston student, one of the top students and one of the best. Shout out to this amazing team. We'll dive deep into our story. But how are you doing today? Tell everybody who you are.
I'm good. I'm good. My name is Leya Johns, and I am a senior at the University of Houston. I am majoring in finance and entrepreneurship with my minor in sales. And I'm based in Houston. I've lived here for about 12 years now, and I'm super excited for this podcast today.
Yes, thank you so much. So you all, I told y'all, a powerhouse is somebody who is connected. And I have a lot of people. We talked about thing interviews. Now today we are getting into it. How can I get a job before I graduate? You know, I teach about the LinkedIn classes, about making your LinkedIn profile look great, but this powerhouse got a job before she graduated. So please let everybody know, like, what year are you, like, before you graduated, like, what year are you currently right now? How did you even get started in, like, U of H? Like, take us from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm currently a senior, so I'm in my last year of my undergraduate degree. And I'll start from the beginning. So I have been based in Houston. My family lives in Houston. So when I was looking for colleges to go to, U of H was kind of a logical choice just because like proximity to where my family lives, cost was a really big thing because I'm on a full ride there as well. Yeah. So that was a huge decision making factor because even with like federal aid and things like that, it's honestly so hard to get financial assistance when you're a middle class family because it's not enough for you to get federal aid, but at the same time, you can't afford to pay exorbitant amounts. So I was hustling my junior and senior year of high
Did
school.
y'all hear that? She was hustling. Hustle. It's a hustle in her.
Yes, I was hustling so hard for my SAT scores. So I got those high enough to get a 100% scholarship to University of Houston, and most of those scholarships are actually directly through the College of Business, because they are always looking to support their students in any way, shape, or form. So got those scholarships. So I decided to come to the University of Houston, and initially, my thought was, okay, I'm coming here for the entrepreneurship program. But one thing to note is my junior and senior year of high school, I actually did dual credit. So basically, what that means is when you're taking a
Woo!
class.
Okay, y'all. I told y'all she was a powerhouse. I knew her and I didn't know this. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I don't think I told you this either. But so basically, I started college when I was 16. And so 16 years old, I was doing dual credit classes. I fully pulled out of public school and I was going to community college. So nobody really knows how old I was at community college. I was just in the classes doing what I'm supposed to do. So by the time I graduated high school, I had almost 2 years of college done. So I was like, I only have about 2 years of college left. And so coming in, everything was super fast tracked. So, I mean, when you have 4 years of college, you kind of have time to figure out, what do I like? What do I not like? Can I change? And I didn't really have that luxury. It was pick something, stick to it, and be successful at it. So I came in and I was like, okay, I really want to start my own business. So I'm here to do the entrepreneurship program because that's the most logical thing. And the further I went, I got very, very involved in the student organization scene at the College of Business. And I realized, okay, this is something that's not for me. But what you're able to do is you're able to do the entrepreneurship degree without being in the entrepreneurship program. Because the program
Ooh,
is,
okay,
yeah,
can you say that one more time? Because
yes,
there's some people here who feel like they can't pivot, that they're
yeah,
stuck, that they're pigeonholed, that, oh man, I wanted to be a doctor and I'm gonna let my
yep,
family down, or this is all I can be. So please,
mhm,
like, share that. This is somebody, y'all. I know y'all like, oh, lovely, you did that and that was 10 years ago. No, this is someone in today, 2025, who made a pivot, you all, and
yeah,
she's doing exceptionally well. So could you share that again about how
yes.
you pivot today? And she got a job before she graduated, even with the pivot, y'all.
Yeah, no, I can definitely talk about that. So, I was very determined to get into this entrepreneurship program because it was actually I mean, it currently still is number one in the country. So it's a huge deal to get in. And I actually interviewed twice, 2 years in a row, and did not get in either time. And honestly, it was jaw dropping. It was a little heartbreaking, and I didn't
Wait a
know.
minute. This
Yeah.
is a pattern, guys. Literally. So what you may not know is that, Leah, we literally had somebody who is a Instagram software mobile engineer. So like this
Okay.
very stuff. He was rejected the first time. Then
Yeah.
we had somebody who was rejected over 100 times and then got a job at this amazing company.
Yeah.
And I was rejected like for other jobs, not for Facebook, but 75 times for other jobs, and then got a huge job at Facebook. And now she's telling you
Yeah.
all that she got rejected twice,
Hmm.
but applied again.
Yeah.
Please apply again.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
dropping gems and we just 7 minutes
I
in. Come
know, I
on.
know. Yeah, no, it was one of the hardest, most, I think, defining moments I've ever been through. That first rejection, I think I was able to take pretty well because I'm like, well, it's my first time. I'm brand new to college. I don't really know. I have time. Let me try again. But the second rejection, that hit really, really hard. And that's when I realized I think I need a pivot. I think something needs to change. And what I thought was right for me, it's okay that it's not anymore. So we pivoted, and I joined the sales program at U of H. So the sales program is the number one program in the country as well. But the problem was I wasn't
Wait
interested in
a minute.
sales.
Okay, Cooks.
I know, I know.
Number one is business and number one is sales.
Yes, in sales as
Okay.
well. So I was like, okay, this is such a good opportunity. I'm not particularly interested in sales, but this is at my fingertips. It's no mistake that I'm here at the same time this is available to me. So I one of the things that like I live by is just keep moving forward. Whatever you do in any way, shape, or form, just keep moving forward, even if it's not the forward that you thought it would be. So I joined the program, and it is hard. It is very, very hard because one of the reasons this program is so highly rated is because every single class that you take within the program has a dollar quota associated with it. So it's not conceptual. It's not you're learning out of a book. If your payment
It
does not come in,
truly is on
yep,
the
yep.
job.
And if you
This
don't hit
is so
quota in a
critical.
learning environment, you're gone. You're out.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a great way to teach because if you're gonna work in
Yes.
sales, it's
It
about
really
quotas.
is. It
It's
really
really
is.
about quotas.
Listen, sales is sales. If you not selling, what are
Yep,
you here for?
exactly. What are you here for? So I joined that program, and that was really, really hard. And I remember when I graduated from the sales program, I'm like, that is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But I'm so glad I pushed myself to do it because I feel like I'm a better person. Like I feel like I have
Mm,
more skills to be proud of, and at the end of the
right.
day, I'm building my portfolio as someone who's
Yes.
going to be market ready at graduation. So yeah, I
Yes.
did that, and after,
Ooh.
but like throughout the entire program, I was like, I'm still not interested in working a sales job. I was like, I
Job. Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
how this works into my story is that I'm developing the skill of sales for my business. Because even in your own
Yeah,
personal business, you're
you
not going
do.
to be successful if you
Yeah.
don't sell anything at the end of
Yeah.
the
And
day.
listen, for us corporate inspirations, I said this. You all have to sell yourself.
Yep.
In the latest Forbes article, you don't want to be a best kept secret. That's no, let's eliminate being the best kept secret. You need people to know about you. And sometimes the best way to know about you is to sell. You have to sell yourself. So I truly, truly love this. This is so amazing. So I do want to like give them a snippet of like how we even connected with each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So she is so incredible. We were both a part of this Sure program, and it's through the University of Houston. This SURE program is the number one business program. So come on, U of H, like y'all doing
Yeah.
wonderful things here. As they say, howdy, like you all are doing some things. And I was assigned her as my business consultant. And as the business consultant, it was the best thing in the world. Like when they say ignorance is bliss, it was so great that she knew nothing about my business. Like she knew nothing about our industries. But when I tell you all, she grilled me. She was like, "What is this? Why are we doing this? Why?" And it was so amazing. I mean, our conversations were supposed to be 30 minutes, and I'm listening to her. Like, I'm like, let's record this because you're gonna you're gonna
Yeah.
tell me so much. And it was so impactful. And I thought that she was in the master's program. Like the things that she was doing as a business consultant was so impactful to my business, which is why I really hope you all, as corporate inspiration, those of you all who are looking for like, how can I add an impact? I literally, and I shared this with you, but I'm gonna put it out there again, like if this company like needs a reference, I can honestly be able to say this person is competent, she is on time, she understands a business model, she is a well worker for relationship building. Her and I were just like talking, and she was like, "Oh, let me reach out to you for these people." It was just so impactful. And I think in order for you all to get a job before you graduate, there are some things that you need to be able to give back, be able to have people speak on your behalf. Like, I will tell everyone, I have tagged her in at least 5 of my posts about how she has been so impactful to my business. And it just really just speaks to the type of student that she is. So what could you be able to do in terms of students who are like, hey, I'm interested. I really kind of want to know, but I got this assignment and it's just an assignment. Like, how can you be able to help those who get an opportunity to be a part of a similar program or just even an internship?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think one of the things that changed the game for me is that in any university or even educational setting, there is the like vast majority of people, and then there's like the top bit. And what makes the jump between like good versus great is how like, are you going to take advantage of the opportunities that are sitting in front of you? I'm also an ambassador for the College of Business, and a lot of what I tell the incoming high school students when they're asking about what's advice for college, like what do you need me to know, and what I say is there are people paid to be here to allow you to be successful. But the difference between high school and college is that nobody is going to come to you. You have to go to them. So I think at the end of the day, you're your biggest advocate. So there are programs like this, but they're not going to come and get you. You have to go to them. And there are a lot of hesitations that college students have in terms of, well, this is going to take a lot of my time. I don't think I'm going to be able to balance my other classes. I don't think I'm going to be able to have the social life that I want. And that is true. But college is a very unique time in terms of it's 4 years where you're almost protected. Like you are able to play the most powerful card there is, which is the student card. And you do absolutely
Okay, y'all,
anything.
she telling y'all power moves, the
Oh,
power
yeah.
move of
The
being a
student card.
student, okay?
You go anywhere, and I mean, I have literally got the opportunity to meet so many big CEOs. I've been DMing people, emailing
Same.
people, and the thing is, what I say, the line is, I'm a student at the University of Houston and I'm looking to learn. Nobody is going to say no to somebody who's just looking to learn, and there's only so long you can play the student card for. So it's,
I
yeah,
feel like that's so incredible. And not only is that so powerful, but I have used that too. I have used that to reach out to radios and
yeah,
new sketch. Yeah, I'm a part of the University of Houston Sure program, and I just won the business pitch, and I just want to look. But
yeah,
it is a powerful card, and that's why she said the student card you can only play so long, but you could become a lifelong learner.
yeah,
So you can be 30 plus years old or 60 plus years old, being able to say, hey, I want to learn more. I want to be able to embark and help you. And they will, like the CEOs I was sharing with her, like the
yeah,
VP of this bank, who is like the top for all of small businesses, was like, "Oh yeah, you're part of this program. Yeah, let's connect." And like just got a Tuesday where we spent 2 hours of like, "Nope, this doesn't work," you know. So
yeah,
please do this. You all who are in businesses, please reach out to people. You got this first from a University of Houston student. Those of you all who are in corporate, you want those mentorships. You see people who are director levels, and you're like, hey, what can I do to be better? And don't be afraid to say no. Like,
yeah,
we her and I were talking, it was like, oh, did you reach out to the person? I was like, yep. And I'm reaching out to them again because I know they're busy. Like, don't be afraid to do it, because I think sometimes for me, I will ignore the first two just to see how hungry you are.
yeah,
Like, or do you really want this? Do you really want this? Because you're asking for my help. And my help is a big deal. And I know I'm gonna pour into you. So be sure to keep those connections. I'm reaching out to you at least 10 times.
yep,
After the 10th time, then I'm gonna reach out to somebody else and I'm gonna tell them that I reached out to you 10 times, but I'm not gonna stop still trying to reach out
yeah,
to
yeah.
you.
But and honestly, one of the things is people can see authenticity. So one of the reasons that people would maybe not want to like spend time with you or be able to give you that information is because they're thinking, oh, they probably want money, they probably want a job, like they have something that is a superficial ask, but they can see authenticity if you are truly trying to learn. And then piggybacking off of that, if they end up saying yes, let's have a meeting, have your stuff prepared. Don't just show up and expect them to lead the conversation. Come with, hey, thank you so much for meeting with me, blank blank and blank, this is what I want to go over today and this is what I'm trying to glean from this. I maybe like some advice from your previous experiences or anything like that. Be curious and have your agenda so that they don't feel like they wasted their time talking to you.
It's okay, y'all. We just gonna let her to just turn it over. She said so much because she said, don't just ask for the meeting, but preparation. Be prepared. When we connected and she was discussing my business plan, we had a set agenda. And I would even text her. I'm like, hey, this is what I need to talk to you about.
Yep.
I'm going to go over my business pitch with you one more
Yeah.
time. Is this right? Is this right? And it's sometimes
Yeah.
that's what you have to do. You have to keep it going over and over again. So don't just think, hey, I've reached out and then it's done. Follow up with them. Like when we were connecting for today, I was like, hey, I want to know more about you, but I don't want it to be too fluffy because I do know you. But these are the questions most people are asking, not just how do I get a job interview before I graduate, but like,
Yep.
how does an internship help me in securing a job with
Mhm.
me graduating? Like, I was intentional about it. She's taking her time. Yes, we know each other, but I want the podcast to be great. I made sure I got the best picture and did it to where I'm showing the best avenue of who she is. I even asked, like, do you want U of H or do you want University of Houston? Those are things that preparation, it takes time for that. And I want to thank you for taking your time to be able to do it. And I do want to be sure that we answer, like, how did you prep for internship and how did your internship help you in securing a job before you
Yeah.
graduate? Just so that way we can be sure to address questions from our listeners.
Yes. So, I'll first talk about how I got the internship in the first place. Because honestly, with a lot of these like bigger name like tech companies, the jump from a complete stranger to an intern is a much bigger jump than intern to full time. So I was able to get this internship because of the connections I had made in the sales program, and I didn't even want to be there, but there's people there that are now resources to me that I was actually at a career fair and I ran into the recruiter and I'm like, oh, I know you from the sales program. And it's almost like now the name of the sales program is going before me. I'm standing behind that name. She didn't know much about me, but she's like, did you graduated from the Sales Excellence Institute? Come interview tomorrow. And I was like, I sure, I'm not going to say no to that. So I came and I interviewed, and it was 3 really hard rounds of interviews just because their internship was completely full, but they decided to expand it by 4 spots. So I'm fighting for the last 4 spots. So that's why they made it so difficult. Yeah, so it was super difficult in terms of those 3 interviews. It was a kind of a surface level introductory interview, a behavioral interview, and then a technical interview with a live role play in the interview. So those were the 3 ones, all with 3 different people. And after all of that, I mean, we can talk about that a little bit more in depth later if you'd like. But after all of that, they gave me my offer within the week. And I was like, I never saw myself here ever, but this is too good of an opportunity to let up. The worst thing that could happen is, okay, I don't want to work there, but now I have this experience on my resume. That's the worst thing. So I was
Right.
like, okay, this feels right. There's no way that I would have gotten this far if this is something that wasn't meant for me.
Yes.
So I got
Yes.
my internship.
And I want
Yeah.
to discuss something because people don't know this, but I'm aware because of the relationship that we have. But it's not in Houston. This job opportunity
No,
is not in Houston.
no.
So how does that work? Because I feel like a lot of people who I've interviewed, they've had to move for career opportunities. What
Yes.
did you think about? What are you thinking about? How are you prepping for, hey, I graduated May and now I need to be sure to work, I think you said the summer
Mhm.
of 2025.
Yeah. I say specifically for internships, I don't think location should be a huge deal because it's temporary. You're not signing a 3-year contract, it's temporary. And a lot of the times, these are temporary but foundational periods in your time. So it's not going to be for forever. The little bit of discomfort in terms of being away from your family or this, it makes it worth it. So obviously there needs to be a little bit more consideration and thought put into, am I going to accept a full-time offer in another city? But for internships, my advice is go for it. Just it's going to be such a cool experience. The people you're going to meet, the even like cultures, like for example Houston versus the culture in Boston, it's super different. You
Yes.
learn stuff there as well. So that is what I thought about. Something that they had asked me a lot before I accepted the internship is, if this were to turn into a full-time job offer, would you be hesitant to accept it just because it's located in Dallas? And I'll be honest, at that point in time, yes, I was hesitant, but I said no, and I would recommend saying no just because you don't want to self disqualify yourself from the process.
Yeah,
So,
and you don't know what could happen in a
yes, you
year.
don't know. You
Like,
don't
it
know.
literally could be that we were talking about this, I was like, "Hey, girl, you could meet the love of your life on this podcast." Like,
Yeah,
you don't really know what life could bring you. It could be that life takes your family to Dallas, and it
yeah,
could be, that it becomes becomes a wonderful experience. And that was for me too. I moved from Kansas to Houston, and now I've been here for 12 plus years, and my entire family, like it's like a big tribe of us, and we're traveling and doing things.
Yeah.
But it was so incredible, but it was very scary. It's
Yeah.
very, very scary. But getting out of my comfort zone, and like you said, meeting different people from cultures and saying howdy, and seeing
Yeah.
people walking cowgirl boots all day. Like
Yeah.
it was so different, so
Uh-huh.
different, but it's magical. And that's, as we talk about that you want to become a corporate inspiration and build your career, sometimes those power moves that you make within your career is not always up and down in terms of, hey, I go up because I'm now an executive. It might be, no, I'm a manager over here, but moving to Dallas, I'm over 200 people. But if I would have stayed in Houston, I'm only over 25.
Yep.
That's a big move for you all in terms of even responsibility. And like how she said, that sales program put her in an atmosphere where she could learn so much and even help me in my sales, because she was
Yeah.
like, no, this doesn't sound good. Like, I think you need something else here in this funnel. Like, these are the three steps. It was really great. Like,
Yeah.
but her insights really helped me. So don't think sometimes as rejection as it, not being your avenue of where you should absolutely be. So this has been so, so amazing. So one of the questions that we always ask our guests is, we ask the next person to ask our guest the next question. So
Okay.
our last guest said, imagine you have everything stripped away from you.
Okay.
Where do you go from here?
Are you talking about like professionally or just everything?
He said just everything stripped away. So let's
Okay.
say that you don't have an internship. There is no University of Houston that you got a chance to go to, like let's say from
Yep.
after graduation. So let's just say no internship,
Okay.
because you already got University of Houston. There is no positive thing, and this is not going to happen to her. This is just what he said to imagine,
Mhm.
because he himself had got rejected. So
Yep.
he's like, okay, well, what happens after you move past this moment? So he wants to hear our answers.
I would say start meeting people. Start meeting people because if you are in an institution, like if you're in a university, they probably have a career center. They probably have well connected professors. Go talk to them. It doesn't need to be in a formal setting like you're applying to jobs, you're on LinkedIn. The human to human connection is something that is much greater than an email or a LinkedIn message. So when somebody knows you personally, it's going to help you so much for them to now vet for you to the connections they have. So I would say start meeting people, start talking to them, and work on your personal brand. When you figure out who you are, what you stand for, and now how you want to go ahead and communicate that to the world, that speaks a lot. It speaks of how much time you've taken to develop yourself personally. And when you have goals, people love a motivated person, and they're not really investing in you or giving you a job because of your abilities right now. A lot of the times they see potential. So if they see your drive, if they see how you go the extra mile every time, or
Right.
your
Right.
people skills, that's what's going to take you further than knowing how to code or knowing how like certain
Yes.
hard skills. The soft skills take you so far. So start talking to people.
Yes. Yes. Girl, you sound like just such an adult, like 50 years beyond your years. I couldn't have said it better myself. Connecting with people. I think the one thing that I would say, just to add to it, is then now start with your why. What are
Yeah.
you doing things for? What's your purpose? What do you want to be known for? Hey, this thing happened to me. Things are stripped away. Oh, I can't do business anymore. I got to go back to being a W-2 employee and a corporate inspiration. What do I do? Well, then I start with the companies that I love. All right, I love Apple. I love Spotify, what they're providing for these podcasts. I love YouTube. Like, connecting with mission driven companies that like fit with my everyday life, I would totally just do that. That was my business. My business was about providing purpose driven careers. So now I want to just go to a company that provides these purpose driven careers. So I think that this is incredible. So, what questions would you ask then for our next guest? Like, what would be one question that you would ask for our
Hmm.
next guest?
Yeah. I would say, what is the most successful step you have seen in, or most, what is the word? Uh like the most helpful quality you've seen in the most successful people. Yeah.
Most helpful quality that you've seen in successful people. I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. It has been such an honor to have you on here. I'm so grateful to hear your story about the rejection and then University of Houston. You all are just raising powerhouses. So I gotta have the dean on here of the whole school, like not just the individual school, like the school of the University of Business, because this has just been so incredible of the mission and the driven that they have of being able to connect us to two different cultures, two different backgrounds. Like it's been so incredible, and I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Thank you to the company that offered you the internship and then the opportunity to be able to to relocate and build your corporate inspiration, your portfolio as a corporate inspiration. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, how can people connect with you for more? How can they learn more about your story for those who might be podcasts and they want to go deeper in helping other students about how can they get a job before they graduate? How can maybe the University of Houston? I know they have Cougs News, Cougs Radio. Like, how can people connect with you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have just scratched the surface today. I could talk for 5 hours. But I would say that honestly, my Instagram is the easiest way to reach me. And so it's just my first name and my last name, Leya Johns. And then also my LinkedIn. I'd love to connect with everyone there, that you'll see a little bit more of my professional experiences and what I've been up to. So that's also just first name, last name, Leya Johns. But yes, it's been such a pleasure. Getting to know Lovely has, I could not have planned it any better. I didn't even know I was taking this class in the fall, and I walk in and there they are, the most perfect people I could have planned for myself. So I'm so glad I was able to at least share a little bit of my experience and everything I've been able to learn over the past couple of years. But thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all who are powerhouses of the global corporate stage. You all are our inspiration. So we truly do. We invite you to share your stories. We invite you to be able to help other people be inspired and answer the most Google questions that people may have. Let us know what's a question that you have for our janitor, secretary, sales teams. Our quality assurance team, IT, all of it. We invite you all to be able to share your stories with the world. And I promise you, it's just like being on Zoom. Like people get so nervous, but it's just us two. The world gets to see it, but it's just us two that get to have and sit down this intimate conversation with us too. So I hope you all have a great day. Tune in next time on how we're going to answer this. What is the most successful trait for all of you people?